What is going on, guys? Taylor Stuber with SharpSportsNetwork.com bringing you my favorite plays for this 3-game Thursday NBA slate, coming off a very strong slate yesterday. Absolutely killed it. If you joined my Twitch streams, you know I was all over guys like Aaron Baines, James Harden were two of my favorite plays on the slate. Gave that completely free away for on Twitch. So if you guys want to follow us over there, going to be live streaming again 2 hours before lock. So at 4 p.m. Central Time, we'll be streaming over there on Twitch at twitch.tv/sharpsportsnetwork. Link is in the description. And if you want a chance to win a free NBA season pass with SharpSportsNetwork.com, all you have to do is subscribe, like this video, and then comment below with your favorite play of the day, selecting a winner every single Monday. But man, I'm ready to get into this one, and I hope you guys have a good Halloween. Be safe tonight. But let's win some money, more importantly. So we'll I think since it's only 3 games, I'll go a bit game by game, just give my general thoughts on it, leave the rest for my members in the stream later on. But so we'll start with this Miami and Atlanta game. We know Trae Young is going to miss this game. That's very big for Atlanta. A couple things to break down with that. And I'm starting to do these videos after shoot around because we get a bit more news, and so when you watch these videos, they're going to be more up to date than the ones that I was posting the night before. And so with Miami, Justice Winslow is questionable. So that's obviously huge news because he's playing the most minutes on the Heat currently. So if he misses, we're going to have to pivot to some other plays. So we'll start with this Atlanta team. We'll look at them, their last game when Trae Young missed. Now, I've been keeping up with the rotations on all of the teams, and we saw that earlier in the year, in the first couple of games, it was DeAndre Bembry and Evan Turner splitting the backup point guard minutes. But then Evan Turner missed last game, and so Bembry got all the backup point guard minutes, and then now Turner's out again, as well as Trae Young. And so DeAndre Bembry has been the immediate backup to him since last year. He's averaged 0.9 fantasy points per minute. And he's going to be starting at the point, and we saw that he started the second half and ended up playing a 7.5 minute stint to begin the half, and then he ended it with a 9-minute stint. So he's on pace to play 33 minutes these games, and I know they raised his price, and I hope people are scared of it. I think there's no way I'm not playing him at 4.7K, even with Jimmy Butler returning. The game was still relatively fast for the Heat being one of the fastest teams in the league this year so far. We thought that Butler might slow it down a bit, which overall it might, but I think for the most part that they're going to be a much faster team than they have been in years past. So I really like DeAndre Bembry. And one of the biggest things I really noticed, because we saw that with the Hawks this year, they really like to play John Collins at the 5 as much as they can, opposed to guys like Alex Len. Like Alex Len avoided foul trouble last game, and they continue to play John Collins at the 5. But I think that makes a lot of sense, because if you play John Collins at the 5 and you're without Trae Young, you're going to need scoring. So that's going to leave more time for a guy like Jabari Parker, who we know who is going to garner a massive usage rating when he's on the court. We'll actually go take a look at them right now. Are the usage rating of Jabari Parker. He only has a 19% usage rating this year, but we know that usually when they throw him into the starting lineup or he's in there coming off the bench without Trae Young, his usage rate is pretty usually between 23 and 25%. I think that this is one of those games that he's going to garner a high usage rating, and he's very cheap. He played a season high 24 minutes last time. I'm pretty sure 23 minutes, tied for his first game, but they're going to need, and he shot 11 times in these 23 minutes. This is something that you can expect, if not more. I would not be surprised at all if Alex Len gets a start, but shortly after they sub him out for Jabari Parker. Jabari Parker plays the 4, John Collins plays the 5. Because that's what we saw last game against them without Trae Young. They're going to need that scoring. Jabari Parker ended up playing a 5-minute stint and then a 7.5-minute stint. So that's good. So that he's on pace for 23 minutes. If he's playing 23 to 25 minutes, I like him quite a bit. Another player that I like on the same team, this is where you're going to get all the value so you can fit in the studs like Nikola Jokic, LaMarcus Aldridge, Kawhi Leonard, DeMar DeRozan, Bam Adebayo. You're going to need these value plays, but I think there's just a plethora of them, and that's going to be Kevin Huerter, because we know that he was on a 20-minute restriction, and so he was only playing 19-20 minutes a game, and he was doing well in those 20 minutes, and they just bumped it up to 25. We know last year he just projected south of a fantasy point per minute. I think that he comes in and plays 24, 25 minutes. They're going to need him for his scoring and his facilitating. I think he's going to do very, very well, and his price is just so cheap. Only 3.4K guard and forward eligible over on Fanduel. He's 4K, and then on Fantasydraft, he's even cheaper comparative. He's 6.6K. And by the way, guys, we are sponsored by Fantasydraft. If you guys want our free NFL season pass and a free NBA season pass for Fantasydraft, all you have to do is sign up using code SharpSports. Let me know that you did that. Show me some proof, and I will get you set up on that. But yeah, let's just get back into it. So yeah, I really want to get in all these value plays for Atlanta. I think they're very, very valuable. Now, the Miami thing, we're really going to have to wait for the Justice Winslow news. We know that. Who am I looking for? We know that he's playing the most minutes on the team. It's 37.6 minutes per game so far this year. So it's obviously going to open up a lot of things. Now, I think that they continue to put Nunn in the starting lineup. They want to take Dragic off the bench. So I'm assuming that Tyler Hero is going to end up joining the starting lineup. And I actually think that's a bad thing for Tyler Hero. And I think a lot of people are going to go back to him. But he shot so well. I mean, he's not going to shoot 16 free throws. He's not going to shoot 7 for 9, 3 for 4. 3 from 4 on from 3-point land, and I just, this game is pretty much an anomaly. I think you expect something around this 19 to 20 point range. Him playing with the starters is not going to be good. Him coming off the bench and getting all the shots is another thing. But as long as he's in the starting lineup, which I assume he will be if Justice Winslow starts, I'm not going to be going there today. I think Jimmy Butler, it was weird because I thought we got a bargain on him at 7.7K. I thought he'd be a lot more active. He really wasn't, but they were winning the game pretty handily. They didn't need him all that much. And so I think that if Justice Winslow misses, it's obviously going to be a big bump to him because I think it's going to move more of the ball handling duties into his hands. And then I think Bam Adebayo, unfortunately, he's only center only because I like a couple other centers on the slate that are centers only as well. It's unfortunate that Bam Adebayo is only a center eligible. I might not get all that much of him, but he is a very, very strong play. And point per dollar, I do like him more than Jimmy Butler. Moving on to this Denver and New Orleans game. So on the New Orleans side, it looks like Jrue Holiday is going to make his return and Derek Favors is doubtful. So we're probably going to get another start from Jahlil Okafor. As we saw a couple games last year without Anthony Davis, they weren't afraid to start Jahlil Okafor versus Nikola Jokic, and even one of the games he played 32 minutes. So I expect them to start him because they need his size. They can't afford to play Kenrich Williams at the 5, but they need to run big. So I'm assuming that Jahlil Okafor is going to get the start at the 5, and at the 4 they're going to start Kenrich Williams, and then at the 3 Ingram, 2 Jrue Holiday, and then the 1 will be Lonzo Ball. So that's a huge bump to guys like Jahlil Okafor and Kenrich Williams, who I think are just way too cheap, especially given their roles on that team and how many minutes I project them to get. Now, obviously, foul trouble can be a thing for Jahlil Okafor, especially against a guy like Nikola Jokic, but that's something I'm not really going to be concerned about, especially on a 3-game slate. Maybe in GPPs you can fade him. I expect him to be fairly popular, or people think that since they got burnt by him last game against Golden State, that they might shy away from him. But it really was, it wasn't that bad of a play last time given his price and that he was starting and it was so close to lock. But the thing is, once we knew that Golden State was going small and starting to Draymond Green at the 5, we kind of knew that they were probably going to end up going. The Warriors were obviously trying to go small, and then the Pelicans ended up having to play Kenrich Williams at the 5 a bunch, which makes sense because the game's going small, but that's not going to happen in this Denver game. So as long as he stays out of foul trouble, they'll need his size a lot, and we know that he can score when he's out there. He's a really good point per dollar or point per minute kind of player. And at 3.4K, it's hard to get away from him. And it's the same thing with Kenrich Williams. So this is a guy that avoids foul trouble, and they're going to need him, and he'll play 32, 34 plus minutes. A very good rebounder. Can do well in terms of steals and blocks. An all right scorer. I like Kenrich Williams quite a bit today. And then on the Denver side, who Will Barton is questionable, so we know that his immediate backup, we'll go look at it right now, because with this Denver team, that they have one of the most condensed rotations in the league, which is a good thing when you're trying to project fantasy points and minutes and stuff like that. And so each of these backups pretty much just have one backup, so they just interchange pretty much the whole game. And so we look at Will Barton and who came in for him. It was Torrey Craig. So I think a lot of people I've been seeing are interested in Malik Beasley, but he's more the backup of Gary Harris. So I think that Torrey Craig is going to be the biggest beneficiary today if he misses, and they're going to need his defensive prowess against guys like Drew Holiday and Brandon Ingram, who I could see him guarding, especially Brandon Ingram with how much usage he's been garnering. And while Torrey Craig isn't the strongest fantasy producer, he can pick up a lot of steals, blocks. He can shoot a three to a certain degree, gets a lot of rebounds. But if he's out there on the court for 30-plus minutes, it's hard to not look at him at 3.3K over here on Draftkings. And we'll look at the prices on Fanduel and stuff, because I know a lot of you guys play over here. 3.7K over here. Okafor is 3.6K. Kenrich is 4.6K. It's really easy to get up to the studs today. I think it's a real studs and value kind of day. Kenrich Williams over here, 7.4K. Okafor, 6.6K. And Torrey Craig, who you won't need Torrey Craig on Fantasy Draft today, but he is 6K if you really need to go diving that deep. And then we see Nikola Jokic against Jahlil Okafor in the Pelicans, almost averages a triple-double. It's hard for me not to play him today with it being a 3-game slate. Just the raw points alone, you will need a guy like Nikola Jokic to compete this today. And hopefully the fish and some people look at this, they see, oh, the Pelicans are good against centers. That's just not the case at all. Against a guy like Jahlil Okafor, and Nikola Jokic should put him through the spin cycle. It's going to be bad for Jahlil Okafor defensively today, but I think he should have a decent game offensively. I'm going to leave the last game alone. I'm going to keep that for my members. Pretty much my general thoughts through the first 2 games, and I will be streaming later on Twitch at twitch.tv/Sharp Sports Network. Link is going to be in the description. If you want to check us out, go ahead and give us a follow over there. We will be going live, like I said, at 4 p.m. Central Time. And then I will be privately streaming for my members 30 minutes before lock, like we do every single day. Let's get this money again. And until next time, peace.